Hello. I'd like to talk about self-care for researchers. I think this is a topic that doesn't get enough airtime. We hear a lot about the importance of taking care of the well-being of our research participants, and of course that is really important. But the well-being of researchers is not often considered by research ethics committees or by researchers ourselves or by others, and yet research can be a very demanding and stressful profession. There's always deadlines, there's always too much to do. It can be very tempting to work evenings and weekends, and people do this and they burn out. It's really not a good idea, and I think we need to focus more on taking care of our own well-being and, where relevant, of each other's. That might be within a professional support system. If you can access a professional support system, then that's great. If you can't, perhaps you can set one up, get one going in your organisation if you work in an organisation. If you're independent like me, a lot of my support comes from social media and from the professional groups that I belong to, like the National Coalition of Independent Scholars, which, despite its name, is actually a global organisation, and then also the Social Research Association here in the UK. It's also useful to have a personal support system, to have friends, and some of us are lucky enough to have loving families, perhaps partners, maybe parents, siblings and so on, who we can go to for support. That's not true for everyone. But most of us have friends, I would hope, that we can call on for support if we need it. And the professional and personal support systems are separate. So you might go to your professional support system if you need to talk about an interview that's distressed you. You might need to think about confidentiality. You might think, well, I can't talk about that outside of the research team, but I need to talk to someone, so I will ask a team member for a bit of time to debrief from this distressing interview that I've just had with somebody who was in a very bad way. And it's not just primary data collection that can be difficult for us as researchers. Working with secondary data can be difficult. Imagine if you were working with records from the Holocaust in Germany in the Second World War, for example. Or if you were working with records from, as Kylie Smith does, looking at racism in psychiatry in the mid-20th century in America. This kind of secondary archival work can be very distressing, and we need to put self-care in place, not work too much, not work too hard, make sure we practice our own good systems of self-care as well as our support systems. We need to look after our health, we need to make sure we get proper food, that we drink enough, that we get enough rest, we get enough exercise. All of these things sound as though they're not related to managing research well, but they are, they're intimately related. So think through the systems you need, the professional systems, the personal systems of support, and your own systems of self-care. If you need more help with this, then I would recommend this book by Petra Boynton, which came out this year, 2020, and it's really useful, it's really thorough, and she's also very approachable on Twitter, where she's Dr. Petra. And that will give you far more advice than I can offer in a short YouTube video of a few minutes. But the key takeaways are: you need a professional support system and a personal support system and good self-care. All three of those are the three legs of the self-care stool, if you like, that you can then sit on comfortably as you do your research.